You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.
All right, guys, welcome to the show. Subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcast. Give it some love. All right, excellent, cool. Follow us on social media. Give us some love. All right, cool. Book me on Cameo. Christmas is coming. Give me some love. Okay, anyways. Alan will not be here tonight, but the third trusty sidekick, Victor Pachecho, is here.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, Keith.
You're welcome.
Again.
I purposely tried not to fuck up your last name because you got me self-conscious. You know what I mean? Because I always fucked up your last name. I didn't know I was doing it, but there's times where I do it on purpose and times I don't do it on purpose. And then you said, what did you say?
I don't remember which time.
You said that you should have a show where you just fuck up people's names.
No, I'm saying you should do a show called Words Keith Can't Say because I've heard you like really struggle with English. I thought it was like you were struggling with my last name because it's like Portuguese or it's Mexican or Latino or Mexican, you know.
Which is odd because I'm Mexican.
Really? I just saw you wink. I don't know if you subconsciously did that, but you totally just winked right now for the viewers at home.
Yeah. Let's replay that. Which is odd because I'm totally Mexican. Wink. Victor's drinking a chocolate milk. Dude, I gotta ask you something. Before we get into our guests, who you've seen him on America's Got Talent, Family Guy, Comedy Central, Kabir Signh. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay. Kabir Signh will be joining us on the Zoom. I gotta ask you, Victor. Do you? I mean, obviously you've been used to it because you do the San Francisco Zoom show. But do you find like you want to go back to face-to-face interviewing?
Yeah, face-to-face interviewing is way better because there's like a vibe in the room. There's like a certain type of atmosphere you can't create on a Zoom. It's like this is like a glamorized phone call.
Yeah.
There's like with really good audio, hopefully, you know, if everyone's connected well. And
I like how you have a microphone and I just talk.
Well, yeah. Well, I have the microphone because the pickups on this computer is shitty, but the camera's pretty good. So, yeah. Rather use a microphone, or you could use headphones sometimes that have really good pickups. But if you breathe really loud, you'll hear every single breath. So
I tried to use the headphones when we did Scott, but then he threw me off with his man pussy.
Yeah, Keith brings that up a lot.
What the fuck? But this is my microphone.
Yeah.
Test. Man pussy.
It's not a mic. What's that? A cheese grater?
No, it's a microphone.
Oh, that's an old school microphone. But that's not
I don't know how to use it.
Well, you'd have to plug it in.
Well, yeah, but I don't know where the plug is. I'm not very. Let's talk about something else. I just have a microphone in my hand so you don't feel alone.
That's fine.
And I'll be like, Kabir, I have a question for you.
I don't feel like I'm alone. You don't need to do that. That's pretty funny,
I'm
though.
gonna be like, where do you get your ideas?
He's just gonna like end it early.
You just give them like the mic, and you're like, wait, why are you? Oh, there you go. Talks in the mic. Now,
hey,
dude, I should really release the video. I never released video.
Release which video for the Scott?
No, the video of Reza Riffs. I've never released a video. I've always released audio. And I think I should release the video because that was a funny joke, and audio listeners can't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. That's for sure. But you'd have to tell your guests, hey, we're gonna use the video because sometimes, like, I don't think Scott would have agreed to do it.
Oh no, not at all. No. Yeah, I mean he was naked the entire time we interviewed him.
No. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Some people don't
He
consider.
was like, guys, I'm so sorry, but I just got done fucking my man pussy. I thought it was the funniest thing when he said that because it was just so I didn't expect him to say that word. So like those are how like there's just funny words that will make you laugh no matter what. Like one of my favorite words is whore.
Yeah.
I
just wasn't expecting him to say man pussy out of anything because man pussy's a dude's butthole. So
yes, it is a dude's butthole. Yes, I figured that out after I Googled it.
Well, he's gay.
Porn, man pussy.
Yeah, man, what a world, dude.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great interview. He was pretty funny. He's very open and he was pretty fucking bold.
Yeah, you did great as the trusty sidekick.
Yeah, I just like swooped in when I felt it necessary.
Yeah. We should promote you to the sidekick and make Alan Lee the third trusty sidekick.
Wouldn't Alan be the first sidekick and I'm the second sidekick?
He's fallen off the wagon. He's on the injured list.
Wow, that sucks. I mean?
Like this is your time to outshine. Like I remember one time Kobe Bryant, the great basketball player.
Yeah.
He broke his arm, right?
Yeah.
Or his wrist or something. So he got benched because he couldn't play. And then they put in Sasha Vujacic, and Sasha Vujacic played fantastic. That's what I'm saying. So everyone was like, oh, go Sasha, because Kobe's down. Then Kobe came back and Sasha went on to play for different teams.
Yeah, but I don't know who the fuck Sasha is, and I definitely know who Kobe is. So this makes me feel like Alan's going to come back and just murder it. Which would be good for the show. That should be good for the show. But it's just if he's gonna be selective about it, then I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, I agree. If he's gonna be like, he didn't want to interview Kabir Signh. He didn't want to interview Scott Man Pussy Caparello or whatever his name is.
Capurro. Oh shit! I know it's getting cut.
No, it's not getting cut. It's a stand. Unless
okay, good.
Unless Kabir shows up 30 minutes late, then it might get cut. Dude, we had so much gold on that fucking 45-minute opening remark thing.
I don't know. I don't know, dude. That's so fucking funny.
I'm actually going to send it to RJ and say, RJ, put in the gold.
Dude, it's gonna be like a 2-hour podcast.
It might be, yeah, because it was fucking good.
It's so fucking funny.
Oh, Kabir's here.
All right, cool.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, you got your questions?
Yeah.
It's Kabir Signh, right?
Kabir Signh.
All right. Oh, he's connecting the audio.
And video.
One time I was on a Zoom and this guy was masturbating the entire time.
Was it like at the beginning of the pandemic or when was this?
Yeah, it was at the beginning of the pandemic. It was before that story came out. It was like, you know what I mean? So it wasn't a big deal. And then when that story came out, everyone's like, oh shit, we got to stop masturbating before the Zooms.
Oh, people would forget to turn off their camera.
They
would mute their microphone.
Yeah. Oh, there's Kabir.
What's up, Keith? What's up, Victor? How's it going, baby?
Hey, what's up, Kabir? How you doing?
Oh, great to see you, bro.
Good to see you.
Victor's the trusty sidekick. He's like
he's great.
He's like my Robin to my Batman.
I love it. Sorry about the hair.
Oh, no worries. We finally are doing this after 4 months, man.
So sorry, man. It has been a nightmare. Nightmare.
But you know, I had a thought last night. You know what I mean? Like, because you went pretty far in America's Got Talent for the folks at home. You made the finals, right?
Semifinals. Got like in the top 15.
Semifinals, right? Now imagine if you did Razor Riffs, you probably would have made the finals.
Probably would have won it. Probably would have won it. That was my bad. Hindsight's 2020. You know what he would have won. I didn't know the power that was lagging on.
Yeah. So I was doing some research on you because I wanted to be prepared. And did you know there's a movie named you?
Do I know there's a movie named me? Yes, I do, Keith. If you know there's a movie named after me, I probably would too.
So I watched it and I didn't see you at all. It was just some romantic movie.
It's one of the biggest hits in Bollywood history, and it destroyed my internet presence. Thank God for America's Got Talent, because prior to AGT, you go on YouTube, type in Kabir Signh, that bullshit's going to show up. But now, finally, we've overtaken that a little bit. Now that the movie's a couple years old.
Oh man, so like, what was that like? Where like when that came out, did that frustrate you?
It didn't frustrate me. I thought it was really cool. I mean, I never actually I never watched it, but I do understand that it was like a massive hit. And I also realized that it completely destroyed my internet presence. So I was a little ticked off by that, but I wasn't upset directly to the movie because, again, I hear it was a really good movie. But because that just kind of sucked, because every time you Googled Kabir Signh or anything like that, it would like show that for like 3 pages, which is disrespectful. Disrespectful. Come on.
Now, Kabir, the bright side is with America's Got Talent, you now have a career the rest of your life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah. I mean, it definitely helps. I mean, prior to that, I was, making a pretty decent living for half a decade or more doing it. But now I could definitely see the ticks on ticket sales and the different comedy clubs that are hitting me up. So it's definitely been amazing. So hopefully I'll ride that wave. And hopefully, try to catch another one as soon as possible.
Now, when you first started the comedy, because you've always been one of those guys who've like closed out shows and headline shows. Did you ever start like touring with people, or did you just do it by yourself?
Yeah, I mean, did I start touring with people? No, but eventually I went on a couple mini tours with Angela Johnson and Joe Coy, and both of them together. There was a really cool show called the BFF tour in 2015 or 2016. I went on like a mini tour with them, which was a lot of fun. But not so much touring. It was always opening up for some comedians that really liked me, that was traveling through the Bay Area or something like that. I would do that here and there. But yeah, not I've never actually been on a real actual tour.
Yeah, but you're about to now, but you're going to be the main star of it, right?
Yeah, other than the garbage tours that I put together over the last 4 or 5 years, yeah, I wouldn't count those as tours, but I would definitely count them as traveling and I'll count them as traveling more than tours. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, a lot of great things are coming up next year, which is exciting. I don't know if college tours count. I did a bunch of those.
Oh, college counts. Yeah, I agree. Victor told me he had the pleasure of opening up for you a couple times.
Oh, no, Victor and I, we go way back from the Bay Area, man. He's always been a solid fucking staple in the Bay Area community college. It's in the Bay Area comedy scene, which I'm sure that the Bay Area was sad to see him move to La La Land. But yeah, no, always, man. Victor's always been somebody that I've been doing shows with over the last almost a decade. Very cool guy.
Thank you.
Very funny, too.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you're hilarious.
Oh, thank you for saying that, dude. Fuck, man. You're also hilarious as fuck. I mean, obviously, with AGT, but you're also open like a book on Facebook, and I wanted to ask you because, like,
oh yeah,
I don't know. Fuck, I'm reading this and like I just couldn't believe the fucking racist shit that you endured.
Oh yeah,
and I was wondering if you would be willing to talk about some of the racist shit. That maybe you can't, or you didn't. I don't know. It was just about how your whole family in India sabotaged the voting process, and that's how you advanced.
Oh no. I mean, to this day, if you look at my,
I think that was one. Yeah. I don't know how many there were.
I mean, if the whole India was behind my back, I would have won it, right? There's a billion.
Yeah. That's kind of like how Dav Fan won last comic standing, right?
Well, you know, I don't know. I love Dav Fan. Calm down, Keith. No, I know we got a lot of like really like kind of crazy shit like that, which is understandable because like I got a lot of insane inspirational shit on my Instagram, which I also thought twice about too. Like people would, you know, Indian kids would hit me up and be like, you know, I'm 13. I never thought, you know, watching When America Got Talent was amazing. I want to do this. You're my inspiration. And that also sounds fake as shit too, because I guarantee that 13-year-old kid is not going to stand-up comedy, you know? So you got to take everything with a grain of salt on the internet. But no, it's a clear reason. My audition for America's Got Talent, if you go back and watch it with the serial killer joke and the Verizon wireless joke, the original audition, that was one of the best auditions for any comedian that's ever done AGT. And that's what helped me get through the semifinals, because even though my quarterfinal set was slightly lacking, I think a lot of people remember that one and kind of voted for me that. So I give 100% of credit to the original set that I did on AGT in June.
Now, I have a question. Like when you do shows now, do you like get because I don't know how much material you have. I'm assuming you have an hour, but when you go do clubs, do you feel like, okay, I can't tell this joke because I did it on the TV, or what? Like, how do you?
Yeah, if you combine my material like currently, you know, with the dry bar and all that, I think I have about like closer to like 2.5 hours of material. But the A stuff, I mean, I feel like 25 minutes of it was on dry bar. And whatever I did on dry bar, that's kind of the thing that AGT was looking at, and they were kind of scripting me off of that. So a lot of the material that on AGT was already on dry bar. So I didn't waste too much. Well, not waste, but I didn't do too much other stuff. So when I do a comedy club right now, you're not going to see anything that was definitely on AGT. And you'll probably see not too much that's on dry bar as well. And I'm working on my new dry bar special, which I'll be taping in April or May. So that's kind of what you're going to be seeing in the future right now, is me working on that 30 to 40 clean that's coming up.
Oh, you're not going to do the full hour?
No, they just offered me the half. I mean, what we do is you do 45 and they cut it down to 30. I'm doing the same thing I did last time.
Yeah, dude, I was just telling Victor.
Who the hell would want to do a goddamn hour clean set? Jesus, I'm struggling with the 30.
I don't know who I was just talking about this, but when I filmed my special.
Oh yeah, back in the day they were making you motherfuckers do an hour. I remember that.
Yeah,
I got in at the right time.
So when I did my special, right? The guy, he was like, okay, because if I'm being honest, I only have maybe 55 minutes of great material.
Yeah.
And then like 2 hours of shitty material. You know what I mean? So he's like, I want you to do an hour and 10 minutes. I was like, why? Ooh. He's like, because we got to cut 10 minutes of it to make it a full hour. I was just like, why don't I just do an hour?
Hour clean, dry bar clean. Yeah, no, that's not fun. That's not a fun assignment to
so like I remember I did the hour, and then the last 10 minutes I'm just bombing. I was like, so I gotta do 10 minutes of stuff they could cut.
You know, I honestly cannot remember how much they made me do. I think it was closer to 35 to 40, and they cut it down to about 22, 24, which is what they're doing now with the half hour things. But I do remember doing a lot of material that was really funny, but they didn't make the cut because it was not dry bar clean. So I mean, it is. I think they're always going to make you do about 10 or 12 minutes past it, so they have something to work with.
Now I have a question. Like America's Got Talent happened during the pandemic, and you know,
the season after.
Oh, the season after, but we were still in a pandemic.
Well, I mean, did you see this last season one where they had no? I mean, the one prior to mine, season 15.
Yeah,
you got to watch that. That was during the pandemic. That was crowd. They had the Zoom people, the Zoom TVs and monitors behind them. I mean, I consider that was definitely during the pandemic. Mine was probably a tad after. They had a lot of it was definitely a tad after that. It was about they were definitely a little bit more normal than the actual season that was during the pandemic. That was ridiculous. I couldn't imagine doing that.
Okay, then let me rephrase the question. So during your thing, because I know for a fact a lot of clubs were still, regardless pandemic or not, were still half capacity. So when you would practice your sets and stuff, like how would that You know what I mean? Did you do double the sets on those nights, or?
Well, Keith, that's a really good question. Generally, the stuff other than my first audition, when I was doing quarterfinals and semis, a lot of the NBC kind of people were kind of like picking and choosing what jokes they wanted me to do off of that dry bar special. So it was already material that I already knew and stuff that I've been doing for a while. So that was not so much of a problem. But no, I mean, during, I don't know, like August and, all the clubs in LA, I mean, the weeks that I was there shooting it, I was able to run my sets at like Ha Club and Melrose Improv. Shout out, those guys hooked me up with a bunch of shows. So
Ha is the best comedy.
Ha's my favorite, sure, yeah. For sure. So no, it was a lot easier. It wasn't Armageddon during my whole like preparation kind of situation. But a lot of it was already stuff that they already saw. It has to be vetted. The last two sets, so it was a little bit easier for me to do.
And then Victor was talking about how accurate and no filter you are on the Facebook and social media. Do you feel now that you're getting a lot of success, do you feel you have to tone that down a little?
Well, I mean, the general stuff that I talk about social media is generally like sports stuff, and I kind of bust balls on other people's sports stuff. I try not to get, I definitely, there's nothing up there that's like political. I mean, AGT vetted every portion of my social media prior to it, and I've never been too wild on it. Like, I just been like, somebody like, generally it's just talking shit about basketball teams, and it makes me look like a sports fanatic psychopath that's lost money on games.
And we're in the same. We're in the same.
On a Tuesday, maybe this guy has some problems, but generally it's never been too crazy, I think. So I've always been a proponent of, if you ever have like a situation of something you want to say, you never want like a paper trail or something like that. So you just say to somebody's face. But like definitely social media is definitely like kind of going nuts. Currently, I don't think I've changed my behavior whatsoever. I'm still talking shit to the same friends of mine over sports and stuff like that. So it's not been too much of a craziness.
Speaking of sports, you and I are in the same football fantasy league.
Am I winning?
I have no idea. I'm
in like 11, Keith. Be more specific. Are we in Greg Wilson's?
No, we're in Caprizi's 9 or something. I get like notifications like pick your teams or whatever.
Oh, okay. That's like a daily fantasy thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, who knows, man. I'm in quite a few leagues though. It's enjoyable though. I enjoy the fantasy football. There's nothing wrong with that.
Victor, do you enjoy the fantasy football?
No, I stopped watching sports since I started doing stand up. I do Sunday shows, and there's football fucks it up,
I can imagine.
Or I'm producing a show at a shitty fucking sports bar, and it's Game 7 of the World Series, and none of the Bay Area teams are playing, so they're like, oh well, you got to compete against us if you want to get paid. It's like, oh, okay, cool, let's.
Yeah, those are the worst. Victor, when I first started doing stand-up comedy, it's so funny because Sammy used to drag me. I've been a huge football fan, and I refused to miss Sunday football. You can imagine how hard it was for Sammy Obey to drag me to the San Francisco Punchline every week, kicking and dragging, kicking and screaming through 2000, like, I don't know, 11 through 13. That guy was, it was very upsetting. I was like, please let me just watch football. It's like, we got to do the Punchline. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be in a bad mood all night.
I remember like 5 or 6 years ago, Sammy was famous for like performing 1,000 shows in a row.
Yes. Still is, man. Still the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, and like he performed at Christmas, and there's no clubs open on Christmas, so he just did a charity event at a food shelter. And
he doesn't. Listen, people always ask me how I started and be like, "Oh, you had an easy road." No, I had to deal with that guy for like 4 years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, I went to boot camp. I did 8 years and 4 years. You psychopath. So never tell me. I have dates. I have calendars. You just ask him what that man had to go through to get me into stand-up comedy, kicking and screaming, my friend, I must say.
Now,
he's one of the true best comedians in the game by far, one of the best.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think that really that work ethic like rubbed on you too, because you have the exact same mentality? You know what I mean? Definitely
not. None of that work ethic. In fact, I became extremely lazier, and I said, you know what? There's got to be a shortcut. AGT. Let's get on.
You've
let's
never been
stand up.
lazy. Whenever I see you, you're always working hard, passing out flyers. And...
Well, I mean, never pass out flyers, my lord. But I will say one thing. I mean, my whole busyness is basically just traveling and doing comedy clubs. So like, if you call traveling super busy, that's great. But Sammy is an extremely hard worker. If that guy has a day off, even if he's not booked for the weekend, he'll go and hit up, places. I would never, ever do that. I would never do that. I mean, I'm already fatigued enough just to travel and go do these shows on the weekends. Now it's every weekend. But even prior to AGT and prior to the pandemic, I was still booked a bunch. But he was taking every day that he could and hit it up. But that kind of working mentality is going to make him one of the household name very soon. I promise you. All that hard work is not going to go to waste. I promise.
Yeah. So Victor, if you got to learn from Sammy and not Kabir, that's what Kabir's trying to say.
Yeah, definitely learn from Sammy, but do what Kabir did.
Yeah.
That's the combo.
Now, Kabir, folks at home want to know, how did you get Family Guy, and what was that like?
That was very interesting. Basically, I just did like a voiceover audition, got on it, and did a bunch of work for them. So Family Guy was a pleasure. But again, man, voiceover, writing, acting, it just depends who you are as a person that you really want to pursue something of that nature.
Yeah.
It's always been stand-up for me, man. I mean, I love going in front of strangers and just doing stand-up and stuff like that. So it's just really your passion. And I know a lot of people that are writing for SNL and stuff like that were, comedians back in the day and stuff like that. But you could always tell that this guy was like always a writer more than a performer. I'm the complete opposite. I'm like completely more of a performer than a writer. So those things, you just kind of have to go to what you think is best and stuff like that.
It's interesting that you say that, because my entire career, I've been doing stand-up for, I don't know, 16, 17 years. There's always been that vibe of, oh, this guy's a writer, not a good comic, but he's a good comic and a bad writer. And there's very few that are both. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's very
like
interesting.
Both a bad performer and bad writer.
Yeah.
No, it is very true. Like, again, another guy like Sammy is one of the best stand-up comedians and writers. Every time you see him, he has another 15, 20 minutes. So it takes a skill and takes a lot of time and a lot of work to get that. So for me, I've always been more of a performer. I like to do a lot of crowd work and just kind of like pump up the crowd and have a good time. So yeah, it just depends. Find what you're good at, just run with it. Don't worry about what anybody gives a shit about. I mean, come on, pay your bills. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
Nobody else
pay your bills with writing.
Yeah. I know a lot of people. I know writers that were terrible comedians that make more, if not as much money as I am, and they're doing just perfectly fine. They're doing what they love to do. Yeah. They don't have to travel. They do what they do. But it's a skill set. You can't just pick what skill set you're good at. Like, I can't just pick to be a football player tomorrow. You have to figure out what you're good at and just go do what you got to do. Come on.
I think you would be a great football player, though.
Yeah, right. I'm very good at Madden. And no, even I'm actually pretty bad at Madden too. I'll tell the truth. We're on camera. I think people might see this and be like, that guy sucks at Madden.
Oh no, we don't promote the visual, but we're just the audio. Because,
I love it. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's even better. Why do I have this light on? No audio. So it's all audio.
Yeah, it's all audio. Yeah.
Why am I hiding this Jack Daniels then? Come on, guys. You got to tell me this before this.
I don't have a drinking problem.
Well, technically, it's just Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Victor, what's up, baby?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling right now.
How's LA treating you, Mr. Bay?
Yeah, man. I definitely miss the Bay, man. Bay is home. Bay's great. LA's great too, man. It's just different over here, man. There's like, I don't know, like a lot of hot dudes here.
Yeah. Well,
so I met Victor, and for the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 months, I would say Victor's been opening for me whenever I get gigs.
Yeah, Victor's one hilarious guy. And then you do the Rec Room too, I heard.
You do the Rec Room, Vic?
You do the no.
Oh yeah. I've been trying to get I've been trying to get you to do the Rec Room.
I've heard it is an amazing room. I've heard from a lot of people.
Let's do it, man.
I'm down.
Yeah. We just gotta figure out a way to promote you smart, because I don't want to kill your numbers on Irvine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, it won't matter.
All right. Well, let's do it in January or February.
Irvine's once a year.
Yeah, once a year.
We'll navigate it through it.
We'll be like, okay, we'll do 100 seat club over a 500 once a year. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm doing an 800 seater somewhere in like near Sacramento, like past Sacramento on the way to Reno. And I just keep telling these people, I was like, we need a smaller venue.
Now,
I don't know what you think.
I wanted to ask you, I don't know if like this was like a full job of you, but I know you did at least a couple sets. You opened for Rob Schneider.
I unfortunately have only opened for him once. But I'm a big fan. I do like him. What's his name? Larry Bubbles Brown couldn't make a show in Tahoe, and I was able to fill in for him. And that was actually closer to the end of the real pandemic. So it was that was a blast, man. Cool guy.
Yeah. So Larry Bubbles was supposed to open, and then you took a spot.
Yeah, Larry had something going on, and then he hit me up, and I was like, "You want to open for Rob for like go to Tahoe for a night?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll go there. That sounds great."
Yeah, I almost got a job opening up for Schneider, but I chose Norm instead.
Yeah, that's probably
it was a better choice.
But not right now. I mean, you may want to rethink that right now.
Yeah, I get it.
No, Norm is one of the greatest of all time, of course.
Norm would appreciate that joke. That's why.
Yeah, it's one still touring, you know.
Yeah.
But Norm is one of the greatest. I mean, I want to remember. I can't remember. I think it was one of my first hosting weekends of all time at the San Jose Improv in 2010 or 11. I was able to host for Norm. I think it was one of my first host weekends. That was when Hollister was running the joint.
I was there during Human's reign.
Oh, you weren't there. You were not pre-Human.
No, I only heard of Hollister and all the terrible stories. I haven't heard one good one, unfortunately. Hollister,
listen, man, that guy was a boot camp. That guy made you work. All the comics that want to cry about it, whatever. I mean, he wasn't nice about stuff, but whatever. Sorry, but my first weekend actually at the Improv was with Norm Macdonald. I cannot for the life of me remember who was featuring, but it was a female.
Well, it wasn't me because I started in 2012.
12. So this might have been right prior to it. And Norm,
I was with Norm from 2012 through 2020.
Oh wow, Jesus, that's amazing. Well,
so it had to be Sean O'Connor or maybe Bubbles. Bubbles opened up for Norm too.
Well, this one was a female comedian that was hilarious. I can't remember who it was, but she was great. And I remember doing my hosting set, and I asked Norm how he thought about my set, and he told me it was like after the weekend. By the way, after you watched it, he's like, I was like, hey, what do you think, Norm? He's like, that was terrible, but and then this is the best. He's like, but people like that. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, all right, as long as people like it, Norm, I'll continue.
Yeah.
But he's a legend. He'll always go down as one of the greatest. And I'm jealous the fact that you got to spend so much time with such a legend like that, Keith. That's amazing that you guys and again, I'm very sorry for your loss because that must have hit you very hard as well.
Yeah, it was
not fun.
It was the one time I was trending for something that I didn't want to trend about. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I was like, God, whatever. But
yeah, that was not a fun day, and that was. And unfortunately, which ties into America's Got Talent, is that I got knocked out semifinals. It was the finals when he actually, I believe, a couple days prior to that. My only regret of not making the finals was the fact that I could have done my set and gave a big shout out to Norm Macdonald afterwards, but I didn't get the opportunity to do that. But that sucks, man. Norm is one of the best. So that was cool that you got to get a spend. You can't be sad about it, man. You got to spend so much time with a legend. Some of my best friends, the Smash Brothers,
Smash Brothers, Corey and Chad.
Absolutely. And how much time did they get to spend with that legend, Ralphie May? And
that was what I was going to say. People threw me under that because the Smash Brothers, who I don't have a problem with, I think they're great, but all their work came from Ralphie May. And then when Ralphie died, their entire calendar was just gone. You know what I mean? And it seemed like nobody.
Well, they're doing pretty well. I mean, look, it was after Ralphie that I believe they got Showtime with Andrew Dice Clay, correct?
Maybe. I mean, I just know when Ralphie died, all their gigs, obviously they're back now, but that year,
2 points on that. Number one, I don't think that's like entirely true. I think they did. I'm sure that a lot of their gigs. I mean, when you're dependent, not dependent, but when your whole calendar is filled with gigs with Ralphie May, and he passes away, and obviously those are going to be cleared. It's going to be tough to immediately, replace. I get that, but overall, they're still killing it. They're some of the funniest people in the world. But also, but yeah, this is why it's tough to hit your wagon on. Not that you guys have. I'm just saying that it is really tough to kind of depend on one person for your whole career, which is why it's just a very sad situation for everybody, obviously. But
that's why I'm trying to
very well
on you now, so I have you for 30 years.
Oh, this train is not going anywhere. I assure you. Yeah, next stop rehab. I assure you.
My mom just actually got out of rehab. She's almost 100 days sober. I think Saturday will be 100 days.
Well, congratulations. That is amazing. That is good. 100 days. Ugh. I got anxiety just thinking about that. And I don't get anxiety
just thinking about 10 days.
3 days sounds pretty painful.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's that was too that sucked though. Yeah, I agree.
But like the thing is, like writing on a show, like this has nothing to do with you, but I just wanted to point out because we were talking about writing on a show is it's kind of like comedy, but it's more backstabby because everyone's fighting for a joke.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I mean, stand-up comedy is the best, man. Nobody tells you what to do. You can do whatever you want unless
you're your own boss.
Yeah, unless you're on a big machine. Then they might tell you what to do. But other than that, they will. That generally, that's the cool thing about stand-up comedy is that you just go up there and do what you want to do, and enjoy life. And I would love to. I have pilots written 2 or 3 that I'm working on right now. But it is different when you're writing by yourself than other people around you. Like it's just. If it's your idea and your passion, then you kind of want to write it and get other people's input. But I can't imagine. So, it becomes very frustrating when there's 6 or 7 people pitching jokes nonstop. And they don't generally shoot it down, but in a way, like they'll kind of like not help like if you give an idea, Reza, and then, Victor kind of like not in a way saying this idea sucks, but Victor might be like completely silent during your pitch. Well, I'm like
on this podcast.
Yeah. And I might tag you or something like that, tag a couple ideas or something like that. But it becomes that.
Fucking stoned as shit. My bad. I took a bunch of edibles.
I love it.
I'm trying to hop in. I'm just like, no, Kabir's talking. Like, no. Why would you fucking hop in right now?
I like that mic.
Oh, thanks, man.
So Kabir, you're writing a pilot. Is this going to be like? I don't want you to give it too much details, but is it going to be like a sitcom for you, or is it going to be like a one?
Not a sitcom is a kind of a show that I'm collaborating with Sammy about. Long story short, it's just about a guy that goes to Las Vegas, who's a degenerate gambler, meets a mathematician that's really good at it. They combine, they make a software that apparently kills the whole algorithm of Las Vegas. We get better lines, we slam it and stuff like that. So it should be good. It's called American Odds. We pitched it once. We're trying to work it out. We're trying to make it better. We're trying to make it funnier. We're trying to get more character development, which is why after we've already outlined a good idea, we've reached out to a couple good people to help collaborate with it so we could get a little bit more steam behind it. And then, of course, my special my show Side Hustle, which I already shot a pilot for a few years ago, which is hilarious. You guys should definitely check that. That's where I go meet up. I've never had a job in my life, so I'll go meet up a comedian that has a day job. And I go to his day job, kind of muck it up, but not in a fake way because I really can't do shit. And then we showcase him for 15 minutes at the end. The pilot is actually on KabirSignh.com. You guys should check that out. That has Jay Rich and Rudy Ortiz on it. So that's getting some steam after AGT. It was kind of dead in the water for like a year and a half, but then all of a sudden, people are asking a little bit more stuff about it. So, it's a grind. We just gotta get through it together.
Well, see, I'm very fascinated with you right now because I would say this whole year, you've been all of a sudden, right? And I always felt like I was in that same level of you. Like, how come clubs won't book me, blah, blah, blah. Unless I'm with Norm or Jay Moore, they don't want anything to do with me. Now it's you. So I'm hoping that like something like that will happen to me. You know what I mean? I don't know if it will.
It absolutely will, man. You just it can happen to anybody, man. You just got to go focus and put yourself out there. There was I wasn't really reaching out to a lot of comedy clubs prior to AGT, but also these comedy clubs weren't reaching out to me prior to it either. So now it's just like I was very happy with my little rotation of clubs prior to it, but now it's obviously grown. So it's a cool thing. It's definitely not complaining. Very cool. But it's just a lot of travel, and you just kind of gotta figure out your whole lifestyle and stuff like that. Try to be as healthy as possible while you're out there.
Now, I wanted to ask you, what was your last time you remember where you bombed, and how was that experience like?
I think it was the semifinals on America's Got Talent.
Holy Lord, that
no,
I meant like a regular show, but all right, go.
The last time I did a holiday show last year that was pretty brutal. Yeah, I think I remember that. That was December 2020. That was in Palo Alto. I was doing a show at the Four Seasons, which I was shocked that was open 2020 December. I did a holiday party, but I think everybody was so excited to be out of the house, making excuses, that they were too busy drinking and eating, and they put me at a really bad spot. They're like, all right, go up there and do stand-up while everybody's like really enjoying the party. I was like, why don't you just let them hang out for a little bit, and I'll do like 20 at the end. So that was more, it was so much bombing as it was people just not paying attention, not giving a shit.
I did the worst gig I ever did where I bombed really bad. I got hired to do jokes at this guy's wedding.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Why did they hire us for this shit? I
know. And the worst part is because my last name, they thought I was Persian, right?
Yeah, Reza. Yeah.
So I get there, and I'm pretty sure the girl divorced him like before.
Yes.
Like it was pretty bad. Like
I'm not a big fan of your decision making. Reza is white all of a sudden, and bombing. So
and he has Asperger's. I don't get what's going on here. So like,
yeah, let's call this a night.
What about you, Victor? What was your worst night?
A couple days ago.
Just me right now during this interview.
You're not bombing? Come on.
You're not bombing.
It's just nice to see your face, buddy.
No, it's great to see your face too, man.
B, do you have any questions for me, man?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you remember this one time. It was really fucking. I thought it was really heroic as shit because I don't want to say which comedy club it was, but I remember which one it was that you were featuring. You had already had TV credits, but this is like way before AGT.
Right.
And you're featuring at this club, and the headliner told you to take it easy. And as the feature, because you like buried the headliner, headliner told you to take it easy. You're like, nah, dude, I'm trying to headline this club.
I had no idea.
So I don't know. Maybe I was privy.
Can I? Do you remember what club it is? Can I guess? Because I don't remember what club this is.
Can I guess the headliner? Was it Bruce Jingles?
No, I don't know. No, I don't. It was at
Sunnyvale.
Yes.
Sunnyvale.
Yes.
Yeah. So Heather has featured me at Rooster Teeth Feathers repeatedly after I won SF International, Comedy Central, all this stuff, all that stuff. So what I would do is I continuously, and this was 4 weekends she gave me as a feature, and I just completely was trying to devastate the headliner. Successful all 4 times. And still never got that headlining weekend, so I'll throw that out there. I don't remember which comic it was, but yeah, man, it's weird. Like it just, sometimes it just depends on who you're opening for. You just gotta play it safe. But at the end of the day, guys, when you're trying to work at a comedy club, you just gotta go full blast, unless that comic is taking you on tour.
Right.
If your headliner is taking on tour and you want to be like, I don't want to be a dick to this person, which has happened in the past, but like, of course, don't do that. Don't like bury yourself. That's burying yourself when you do that. Yeah. When you try to bury a headliner that's putting money in your pocket and you're not there yet, you're burying yourself. But there's absolutely no rules in burying a headliner that was booked by a comedy club that should be headlining you. So yeah, that's funny, Victor. That's very, very good point. They're opening back up in February.
Yeah, that's cool. But
yeah, that's crazy.
I have a question about burying
I'll be featuring for Reggie Steele in April.
Nice, congratulations, man.
Very, very happy to be there.
So Kabir, you talk about burying yourself, which I agree to a point, but I semi disagree because I feel like the point of comedy is to make as many people laugh as possible. So, I mean, I've had a headliner tell me, hey, don't be funny before. And, you know, I'm not afraid to say it, Bruce Jingles. You know what I mean? Like, he's told me not to be funny for him. And it's like, dude, to me, I find that as a sign of weakness for the person who's headlining. Because when I headline, I want people to be better than me so I could be just as good.
Right. But to answer, you know, Bruce Jingles, let me tell you, man, I did a casino with him in Sacramento once, and I was headlining, and he was featured for me. I think he utterly buried me the second show. So, I mean, it goes back and forth. I would never, you know, Bruce is a funny guy and a good guy, but like,
I didn't say it wasn't. I was just
I'm just saying, though, it happens. But like, you know, again, you know, like, you know, you're probably, you know, I would never tell anybody. I'll just say that I would never tell anybody to tone it down. That's crazy. That's
Thank you.
That is, I give you absolutely. That's insane. And you know what? If the features, I've had way funnier features than me feature for me, and I would just have to go up there and do my best. And there's been times where it didn't work out for me, but like, I'm not gonna tell the guy, like, you know, I'll just lie and say I'm working on new material and be like, yeah, that's how this succeeds. Like, why don't you shut the fuck up? How about that? Huh? Get out of here.
I think that's what I wanted. I wanted you to admit that no headliner should ever do that. So
I agree. Yeah. Unless there's a, you know, there's going to be a respect factor. There's been people that I know, like YouTube people and stuff like that have sold out the place. Yeah. And I'm doing like 4 or 5 of those, or people that went viral. You just, as a comedian, as a businessman, you have to know when to, you know, settle down a little bit, but definitely not, you know, people that aren't going to put money in your pocket repeatedly. At that point, you can ignore all that bullshit.
Now, how do you feel about YouTubers? Like, I mean, one thing, they have the crowd, but they don't really have the material. And like, same with TikTok. Like, TikTok started taking jokes from comedians and using it in their TikToks.
You're telling me, man. That's like 4 jokes go viral on TikTok. I would say I
had one the other day. I was just like, okay, I'm not plugging anything on social media now.
Yeah, but sometimes they'll actually take your video. Like, I have a video on TikTok that went completely and utterly viral off the AGT stuff that I wouldn't have done myself, and I'm getting a lot of love for it. So it's a 50-50 kind of thing. As for the TikTok and YouTubers that go viral and get a lot of people at these clubs, I think it's great for comedians. I'm telling you, man. I mean, the fact is that means the comedy clubs are making ton of money, keeping them open. There's no way like I'm going to sell more tickets than a viral, $40 million YouTuber. And I totally understand them booking them. I totally understand it. I think that they also book regular comedians to open for them, which is a great exposure for them because you're going up against a brand new fan base. And I also believe that it's keeping these comedy clubs in, getting more money, and it keeps them, more vibrant and stuff like that. So again, we're not in competition with YouTubers and TikTokers. You know what I'm saying? They're doing their own thing on Tuesdays, Wednesdays. They're renting out the Irvine Improv and selling out 500 seaters and stuff like that we would not be involved in anyway. So it really has nothing to do with us. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's a fad. It'll go away soon. But it's nothing to really sweat about.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't lose sleep over it, but yeah, no, of course it sucks when you've been working for so many years and you see some dude go viral 3 years in, go up there and bomb for an hour and there's 500 people there. And of course that kind of sucks. Like, oh, I should get that. And, you probably should, but you can't cry about it.
I don't like to get political, but I heard Trump is like going to make his own social media. Did you guys hear about this?
No. Who are those 2 fucking twins that rode the wave on the Hodge twins?
Yeah.
Hodge twins.
Oh, what is it?
Hodge twins.
Okay, so
black guys, right? Yeah.
I was randomly hanging out, and those are the only guys that I was randomly hanging out in Pleasanton, just hanging out, eating pizza, and I found out they were there on a Wednesday, and I was like, whatever, I'm in town, so I went to go see them. I didn't introduce myself, whatever. It's a home club, so I was like, whatever, I'll go walk in and watch them. That place was sold out from top to bottom, and my Lord, oh my God, it was so brutal. I've never seen anything like it. I was like, what is going on here? It was so...
It's like seeing a Keith Reza show.
Oh my God. It was just that's the only one I was like, okay, this might be not great. But it was a Wednesday and it fed all the bartenders and the wait staff. So I don't give a shit. Everybody made money that night, but it was bad to watch though.
Did you get up?
No, I was just, geez, no, I did not. I should have, Victor. If I came a little bit earlier, I should have asked. I would have enjoyed a guest set, but I didn't know what I was getting into. I just watched them on Fox News once, and then I saw them, and then I started noticing all their viral videos because I couldn't believe how many people were there.
Yeah.
I was literally it was sold out on a Wednesday. And I went up to Gail, the owner, at that point. I was like, who the fuck are these guys? They're like, they're hot ones. They're fucking huge, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, fuck, I've never heard of these comics in my life. They're like, well, they're not comics, but, go watch the show. And I was like, okay. They did a bunch of skits and weird racist shit. It was like, okay, this is not
They're not comics, but they're nice dudes.
Yeah, I did not meet him, though. That was my only thing. Victor, it's so funny because I super wanted to meet them. I was like, but then they just, they had a meet and greet afterwards and they got mobbed by everybody. I was like, I ain't waiting no fucking, I'm out of here. But yeah, no, it's interesting situation.
Now the roles are reversed. People mob you for meet and greets. What's that like?
Oh, definitely. There's no mobbing on meet and greets.
Oh, there's no mobbing?
There's 2 or 3 people that'll yell at me across the airport. Like St. Locke, was it? Salt Lake City. I was going through security for the airport, and there was this, big old African-American girl, black girl, and she was fucking hilarious. I go there and I just give her my ticket, and then she just looks at me and she's like, "Are you motherfucking Kabir Signh?" And I was like, "Yes, I voted for you, motherfucker." Like, I mean, there's a line behind me, and then she stopped, took a picture, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." So I get those a lot here and there on the streets and stuff like that. But there's definitely meet and greets after the shows. During COVID, I mean, I'm just kind of like, I don't know.
You're just hanging loose. Victor, do you have any last questions for Kabir?
Oh, no, I got all my questions out in comments.
I will say, though, I will say one thing, though, man. Victor, it's always an honor, man. Really funny comedian from the Bay. Always a pleasure. And Reza, man, I love these interviews, man. How do you get all these big names, man? I've seen this whole, I've seen your roster of podcasts. What is this? I feel like I don't even belong on this.
Well, no, you do belong. I love you.
I love you.
A lot of them I work with, and the ones I don't know, I just stalk until they say yes.
Oh, I love it.
And
we're gonna get you to the Bay Area, by the way. We should do a whole Bay Area interview series.
Let's do it.
You'll love talking to these guys.
Yeah, we'll bring Bubbles on. I like Larry.
We'll bring Bubbles.
And
bring the SF comedy scene on there. That's great. You should talk to them about comedy. That's great. They'll be like, I like bubblegum.
Yeah. I've done like I would say out of the 170 interviews I've ever done, only 2 people have literally told me after the show, don't ever fucking talk to me again.
No way.
Yeah.
And who are they? Like, come on, buddy.
I was like, holy Lord. But what I'm saying is like that's great batting averages. That's like 98% success rate that people enjoy talking to you. You know what I mean?
Of course. Well, it's all great. I've been watching a lot of your stuff, man. I really appreciate you having me on, buddy.
Oh, yeah. And then the last question I have for you is, well, actually 2 more questions because we got to tell the folks where to follow you. But the last question I have for you is, what is some words of advice you could give to comedians who are on Victor's level? I'd say my level too, but I guess I'm on Victor's level now because my source died.
Really, yeah.
But like, what is the advice for comedians who are just features, who are trying to make it just to try to make money for food?
Super easy, man. I mean, both of you guys are already hilarious. I don't think that being hilarious is the problem here. Now it's just getting your jokes in front of the right people. That's all that matters really at this point. I mean, Victor, both of you guys are fucking hysterical. I mean, you guys would destroy any comedy club. Victor, when he was doing the show in, was it Irvine or was it Ontario? Was that incorrect?
Irvine.
Yeah, this guy, I mean, I had my whole family come up to me and they're like, man, who is that guy? Or, and so, I mean, you got amazing feedback because you're hilarious. So at this point, you just have to go make sure that you get onto the right festivals, get in front of the right people, and just put yourself out there, man. Get out there and get into the improv, get into the Laugh Factory and go out there and do really good stuff. And then you just kind of, it's a coin flip too, man. I mean, you got to get lucky, you got to get the right person to see you. And the more you're out there, the better odds you have to get seen. All
right. Now, my last question. Kabir, where can the folks at home follow you and support you?
Oh, yes. Instagram is Kabeezy Comic, KABEEZY COMIC. Facebook, just Kabir Kabeezy Signh. And, the best thing to do is go on my website, kabirsingsing.com. And hopefully I will see you guys out there soon, man. I really appreciate it. Oh, my Twitter's, I think it's just Kabizi. But yeah, man, thank you so much. It was a complete honor talking shop with you guys.
Yeah, man, it was fun bullshitting. I'm glad we got it done, you know. But
yeah,
next
I know.
time we gotta do it before your finals. So
I'm a terrible freak.
All right, Kabir. I love you, man.
Love you, Reza. Hey, man, Victor, always a pleasure, man. Mad love.
Likewise, man.
All right.
Mad love, brother.
Keep representing the Bay, baby, in LA. Love you.
Yeah, man.
So that was Kabir Signh, guys. Follow him on the social media and all that jazz. Subscribe, rate, and review. Victor, where can the folks at home follow you?
All my stuff's on HispanicTitanic.com, so check that out.
I'm sorry, what? Hispanic Titanic? That's fire. Sorry, I'll be.
Oh, that was Kabir again.
Fire shit. I was just turning off my computer and I heard that shit. I was all like, that is fucking gold. Okay, sorry about that, Big.
No, that's great. Thanks for the feedback. Because I've had that website for like 6-7 years now. And so when I first got it, someone's like, yeah, that name's too long.
No.
I'm like, it's fucking memorable. It's witty. It's HispanicTitanic.com.
Well, it's not too long. You're going to remember HispanicTitanic.com. I mean, come on.
Yeah, who's not going to remember it? And so it'll get a huge laugh at the end. I'm like, if you guys like me, check me out at HispanicTitanic.com. And they laugh, and I'm like, then I leave. So
it's kind of like the movie Titanic. Like people only remember Leo.
Oh no, I remember Kate Winslet for sure.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like,
yeah,
like it has one of those snaps to it.
That's great.
All right, guys. Well, you can follow me at Keith Reza. I got a show February 20th, my first show of 2022. So get tickets at KeithReza.com. And yeah, that's all I got, man. Book me on Cameo if you want like Christmas bullshit. All right, Victor, thanks for co-hosting, and
thanks for having me.
Follow Kabir Signh, guys, and we'll see you guys next week on the Reza Riffs.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.